Yes,
All right. Hey, we're live. We're rolling, baby. We are rolling. What a segue into that. Man, I'm like 2 for 2. I had a great segue last week with Reynolds. But hey, since we're rolling, we're talking the Scioto Valley cycle.
Yep.
You know, we're rolling on 2 wheels tonight.
Hopefully 2 wheels.
And we got a new Chubby.
Yeah.
Well, what is this, your 4th?
I was trying to think of that on the way in. I think it's the 4th time.
It's either 3rd or 4th.
I think I've been your guest twice.
Yes, twice. Yes,
and
yes,
then
yes,
filled
yes.
in for Dr. Arrington. I helped you and Dr. Arrington.
Yep. Now tonight's
Now
number
tonight.
4.
Yeah.
Yep. Tonight's number 4. So Matt Jenkins, thank you for filling in for Chad.
My pleasure.
Yep. Jubal Davis, ladies and gentlemen. We need no introductions to Jubal. We're going to talk bikes. I'm so excited. I need a bike talk after the day I've had.
Yeah. Well, bikes really make you smile.
And this is an education for me. I'm excited for this.
Yeah. This will be good. There's 2 things that that get me excited. One is a guitar.
Nice.
And the second thing is a bicycle. I'm talking just my time. You know, like those are the only 2 things that I've probably ever stuck with. Well, and you're a part of that.
I see a lot of your footage is out in the woods,
biking,
getting at it.
Yeah,
enjoying it.
You changed my life. I've really never told you that.
Oh no, come on.
You did. I don't know that now Jenkins is going to make fun of me on this one. But I was about to take another direction bike wise, and then you showed me your S-Works pedal assist e-bike.
Okay,
changed my life. I mean, I'll never forget. I was thinking about that yesterday.
I'm not going to take cheap shots at the e-bike.
I don't. Well,
I'll just say
that. Now Jenkins is like you used to be. He loves to suffer. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's a hardtail. You know, all the specialized rock hopper expert. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You put set brakes on him.
Right.
So and the little used one is a single speed.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the single speed. Yeah, so this guy loves to suffer. He's like Thad and Joe's respawning. Mm-hmm. You know, those guys they just love to hurt.
Yeah.
I'm out on that. I'm out on it. So tell us about Scioto Valley Cycle. What's going on?
Well, I was actually listening to the podcast that we did back in 2021 before
4 years ago.
Yeah. So there's been a lot that's changed. You know, I went from AP Prep in there with Prater.
Yep.
And doing just technical work, doing service, and it's evolved a lot since then.
You outgrew that.
So I outgrew it. We'll get into that here in a minute, but we had an opportunity to buy a piece of property close to Great Seal State Park, which is where most of our riding is. And we're 1 mile from the trailhead. And on this property, it's only 6 acres, which is, to me, is very, very easy to maintain and play with. But the awesome part of it is we've got a little test track where you can actually get out there and test your bike out, or kind of even practice some skills. We're constantly honing that. But the big picture is we've got this awesome old ragged ass barn that we're working on, and it's from the mid 1800s. It's just a good skeleton to work with, and I don't really want to change it, but I know I'm going to have to, because there's freaking owls and stuff living in this thing, but it's just got that old. It does. You look at it and you're like, man, this was somebody's livelihood. Mm-hmm. This is how they made their living for the family and to make things better for their life. And when we got into this place, one of the guys that was working with me to help clean it out, he said, you just need to tear this place down and build another barn. And when you look at it, it's got those old hand hewn. There's no nails in it. Everything is pinned.
Oh wow.
And so I'm just looking at it. I said, man, I just can't bring myself to do it. It had dirt floors. The one side was an old corn crib, I believe, that had a concrete floor. But needless to say, it didn't get tore down.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a hoarder's dream, but somebody like us, it was a nightmare, because it was just stacked at least waist high with just nothing but trash.
150 years or 200 years of stuff.
Yeah.
My mom had one of them.
So we got to clean.
We tore it down.
We got to, yeah. See, So we cleaned it out and then poured floors in it, but it's turned into a very awesome package, and we're just now refining it even deeper because the property, it's in general, we had a pole barn on it, still have a whole pole barn on it, and we have the house, which is a 7-bedroom and 4-bath. Of course, it's just me and my wife over there that live there, so we don't even use all of it. But our big picture, once we get everything else done, is Airbnb-ing it, since we're so close to Tecumseh Amphitheater and Great Seal State Park.
With this being my first time meeting you, you were at AP.
Correct.
You were servicing bikes.
Correct.
There?
There was a back room there.
Okay, so this barn
Mm-hmm.
effectively it's the bike shop.
It is the bike shop. It's pretty dangerous getting to work because I walk across the gravel driveway. It's a little icy right now.
Yeah, you don't walk. You walk from here to the cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in my case, I hobble a lot.
Yeah, you do.
I do. So anyway,
Grandpa's what I call him.
but in the meantime, Saddle Valley Cycle, we started with being just doing technical work, service work, and getting people dialed in on their bikes. Now we're at the point where we are a retailer for bicycles. We brought on Yeti cycles, which you're familiar with because I always push it because my son rides for Yeti, still does. Doesn't do the racing, but he does.
Look him up.
A lot of the promotional stuff.
Look up Jubal Davis. Just Jubal Davis, right? Yeah. I mean, it ain't you.
Well, I did that, and I was like, well, I don't think that's the guy I'm talking to. Yeah, but it was the Yeti site.
Yeah.
So that's what we're selling. That's
your staple.
That I wouldn't call it our staple. That
Really?
is just like with Yeti. Whenever I talked to him last week about
Tell me about Yeti. Let's talk about Yeti. Let's talk about Yeti bikes.
Okay.
Yeah. Go.
But anyway, thanks for putting me on the spot.
Yeah.
But no, I mean the cool thing about Yeti bikes is it is a super high end brand. There is not a bike that is under $4,500 because the true backbone of this company is racers and hardcore riders. So that's I wouldn't say it's my staple. It's my upper end product line, and not everybody's going to spend $4,500 on a bike.
Minimum. Yeah, some of them are.
Yeah, that's your baseline.
Some of them are 12 to 15.
Yeah, we've got Malia and I's bikes are retailing out at $8,000 and $15,000, but that's because we don't know any better. We just like to ride bikes, and we drive junk cars. So you got to get your priorities set.
Sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, as far as Yeti bikes, like I was talking to them last week about bringing some bikes in, and it was cool to hear them say, we really don't worry about what you want to order because with you and your son and where you guys are located, you guys are truly part of the Yeti family. You don't hear that from some of these other companies. I've never heard it from any other company, actually.
That's great.
So,
That means a lot, I would think. I mean,
so Yeti Cycles is out of Colorado.
Golden, right?
Golden, Colorado now. I think they were originally based out in California, but then they evolved or moved into this new area quite a few years ago. So they were definitely based in Golden, Colorado. And they make a damn good bike, but it's like anything, you in some cases, it's not just an overpriced boutique brand. It's basically a bike that performs.
How long have they been building bikes, making bikes?
1984, I believe.
One of the older ones, yeah.
Okay.
In bikes, And we before we wrap this, before we get to the end of the show, not that that's coming anytime soon, but I want to talk about clunking too, because you come from kind of that era.
I wouldn't call myself the original Warren County clunker kind of guy. I was basically, I was riding full rigid bikes, which means no suspension on the front and rear.
Mm-hmm.
Mountain bikes, though. They call those mountain bikes.
I mean, that's clunker.
Well, the clunker is actually basically
Pieces.
from the 70s, the late 70s, I believe.
That's what started mountain biking.
Yeah. So in Marin County, these guys like Gary Fisher, Bontrager, these guys that are staples in the industry years ago, they were taking Schwinn's.
Mainly Schwinn's, yeah.
Mom Schwinn's and
banana seats.
Yeah.
And then just holing them up to the top of a mountain and blasting down
Just
it.
bombing it.
What did they call that? What did they call that race with the bearings? Repack?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a big race still to this day, a clunker race.
Yeah.
And it's called Repack, and it's in Morrow County?
Marin, M-A-R-I-N.
M-A-R-I-N?
Yeah.
Is that where the bike's Marn from?
Yes, it is.
Yes, there's another staple. Bob Tranker.
Okay. Got it.
Gary Fisher actually started Trek, didn't he?
Gary Fisher, yeah, he
was part of it.
No, he got
Greg
into it,
LeMond.
but Gary Fisher made his own bikes
Yes.
and got gobbled up by the big conglomerate, which is Trek. And they did the same. Trek did the same thing with Bontrager, and that's part of how the industry's gone through the years. Is that these small niche companies that were making hardcore product ended up just getting swallowed up. And a lot of them say, hey, you're a sellout, you're this, that, or the other. But my God,
They're making good bikes.
and the other thing is if you're sitting there in your shop and you're welding shit together by hand and you're brazing stuff and you're putting all this time into it and you're still getting only a fraction of what your talent skill set is really set for. You're trying to sell that frame for $1,000 and you've got 1,000 man hours in the damn thing.
Yeah.
Then the big boy comes along and says, hey, I'll offer you X amount of dollars for your business. And you're like, yeah, let's do that.
Don't fault anybody for that. Yeah.
So let's go back. You started off full rigid suspension in the 80s, right? So clunking was in the 70s, mid to late 70s probably.
Correct.
Then in the 80s, you're in Chillicothe at this time, right?
Yes.
Okay, Ross County.
Mm-hmm.
And you and a lot of guys from what I've heard about, I mean, I wasn't doing it back then, but you guys were all riding these rigid frame, true mountain bikes. What size wheels and tires? 26?
Definitely 26.
26s.
Yeah.
And you guys rode 26s until probably what, 2001, 2002?
Honestly, in 2008, because there was an evolution with that because they were basically stuffing 29-inch wheels into a 26-inch frame, and it just handled super wonky. They would go fast in a straight line, but getting into the technical stuff, they just was really weird at handling. So we were riding. I didn't get on a 29-inch wheel bike until 2008.
Did you go 27.5?
No, there was no such thing then. I mean, they went straight to 27.8. Then that 27.5 is the one that was in between. They were like, well, if you don't want 29, we've got this one to offer you.
Yeah.
So they basically weaned people off of 26 to 27.5, and now you can't. There's hardly any 27.5s out there because
that's old. If you see that, it's 10 years old.
It's old, or it's someone that's just so hard headed that they just don't want to give up that 26-inch wheel dream.
Yeah,
and they're going to stick with the 27.5.
Now they do handle snappier, don't they?
A 27.5-inch wheel will accelerate quicker, and it'll handle a little bit faster in the tight stuff. The 29-inch wheel, once you get the acceleration up, will just surpass that 27.5. And then as far as handling, you don't have to worry about handling. You just run the shit over.
Yeah,
just like a monster truck.
Now being a novice.
You're not a novice.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, you're high end novice. Yeah. But you'll go out and you'll bike 30 miles in the woods.
But the single speed I have is 27.5.
Yes.
And I'd cut my teeth for 18 months on that Specialized.
29.
The 29.
Mm-hmm. You can tell.
And when I got that smaller bike, I couldn't believe that, I felt so much more comfortable making turns at a higher rate of speed, but the obstacles, like what you're saying,
right? Yeah,
I've never heard it said the way you put it together there.
Yeah, so it will carve a turn a lot better, and it'll accelerate out of it really quick.
Yeah,
but then you run out of pedal, and with 5 or 6 pedal strokes, that 29ers caught you, and it just starts walking off of you, and basically by the time you get done, my son was pushing against that 29er for years, or for a while. And I remember one of the last times he rode with me, we were in Colorado, and we were in a place called White Ranch, and there's a hill, I should call mountain, called Belcher. Absolutely a brutal freaking climb. Just big, jagged rocks, and it's just unbelievable. And people ride it, but we're climbing that, and he was on a 27.5 at that time, and I was a little bit older. You know, he was stronger than me, but he even admitted at one point where he could actually see that with each pedal stroke, I was gaining a few inches each time, and he could tell that he had the same pedal stroke as me, but it was actually covering that much more terrain, and it was running over the small stuff that much easier than what that smaller wheel would be. Or
That was probably
stuff.
your gain in distance, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was just rolling it.
Correct.
Where that 27 is going, it's just going to hold
It's
up a
gonna
little
hang
bit.
up.
Yeah, it's going to hang up.
Yeah.
Now I like it on the back.
It's that's controversial.
I'm sure.
I mean,
yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So it's, you know, Yeti. I go back to Yeti because, you know, I bleed turquoise. That's their team color. But their philosophy is if they're mulleting out a bike, which means that you've got a 29 in the front and a 27.5 in the back, they're not building their bikes right. They're not building that suspension to work the way it's supposed to work.
Because it is kind of an overkill having to carry. Yeah, I don't. You know, I know you can take a 27.5 and put it in a 29, but like some people would have to have 2 different tubes, 2 different tires. You know,
Correct.
it's
yeah.
just, you know.
But it's you know, that's what's great about the whole thing is, you know,
do whatever you want.
You know, I'm not going to hold anything against you about running a single speed. I ain't the one with the mental issue.
Mm-hmm.
I like gears.
I've got a buddy that rides a full rigid. I think you built it for him.
Okay.
And
who is it?
John Williams.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
We won't talk about that. We won't talk about animals. This is we're not going to talk about anything like that.
The ultimate sufferer.
He likes it.
This
Huh?
guy.
And you know what? The guy is you would never think that he was such an animal that he is.
Mm-mm.
But when you turn around and he brings his bike to me, I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to have to do now?
Yeah.
And it is absolutely haggard. But he rides his shit, man. He's a freaking animal.
Yeah.
He just loves doing it. So I can appreciate that.
He's ripped it around Rio with me a couple of times.
I've never met this guy. He lives out there by me too, doesn't he?
No.
It's not
he
the one that
lives
lives on
at
93?
Soda Trail.
Okay, that's the guy you ride Soda Trail with.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you look at him and talk to him, you'd be like, oh, this guy's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
He likes everybody. He actually married me and Malia.
Did he really?
Yeah. Yeah. He's the one that put us together and super nice guy. And he's just don't underestimate the guy. He will crush some pedals and break some hearts, man. That thing is he's just an animal.
Show up on your e-bike, and this guy's going to roll in his Chaco sandals and cut off jean shorts and give you everything you want.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's not a lot.
Those guys are crazy.
Yeah.
Those guys are crazy. So he used to go, like, the original guys used to go to Soda Trails and do that. Like, they'd ride 20, 30 miles on a Tuesday night.
Right.
Wouldn't you? Yeah, on hardtails, on rigid bikes.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine that.
Well, it's been an evolution even up to this point where e-bikes has become the rage.
Let's talk about that too. Let's talk about the e-bikes, because when we say e-bikes, and I get this a lot, you know this, you'll vouch for me, people truly think that I'm riding around on a Sur-Ron out there in the woods.
and a Sur-Ron is a bike.
Is a motorcycle.
It's basically a motorcycle with
Yeah.
a throttle, no pedals.
Yeah.
I got to bite my tongue a lot because a lot of people, don't get me wrong, you can be, I call them soft shoes, I call them soft pedalers, where they will basically amp that thing up and just do the leisure, let their weight of their legs do the work. I compare the whole e-bike thing to a gym. Just because you join a gym don't mean you're going to get in shape. So basically, it's still up to you to get in there and put your time in. You can choose which workout you want. You can choose where you want to be at.
Mm-hmm.
But the bottom line is what's going to make you happy, I reckon. And there is a level of e-bikes, and I will say my son is the guy that will wax anybody's ass, no matter what. And he's the guy that will get on an analog bike and wax that guy's ass too.
Yeah.
On the e-bike.
On a regular bike.
Yeah.
He can ride
Yeah.
either bike.
Yeah, he can do it on either one.
So what I'm saying is, in some cases it could be a cheater bike. You can adjust the power of your unit, and they're all everything.
I've never got into that.
Everything I sell as far as a hardcore mountain bike is an e-bike. It does have a throttle. Or it doesn't have a throttle.
Yeah.
But you can set your energy output and like the
Response.
yeah, or you have a high, medium, or low, medium, and high settings, and you can take and turn around, set that low wherever you want. So you can turn around and set that back to make the bike feel like you're riding an analog bike. So you cut your power back to like 30%.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just counteracting the weight of the bike. And then you can go full bore 100%. And it's kind of cool. But
I, on Eco, mine's that way. All mine does is, and you set it up at it, it just took the weight of my bike away.
yeah.
And that's pretty cool. Like, especially like we've done that a lot. Like
Yeah.
I'll go with these guys. I'll go with the single speed guys sometimes. That's the only bike I got.
Yeah.
You know, so I can just go slow if I want to. Now, hey, if I see a monster hill and those guys want to suffer,
Yeah.
I'll just all I gotta do is hit a button and I'm back up
Yeah.
to turbo. But I try to ride an Eco all day.
I was the guy that this was over probably almost 12 years ago, whenever the company that we were selling out west said that within the next 2 years that 50% of bike sales is going to be e-bikes. I said, bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I said, there's no way. And then me and the guys out back, because number one, I didn't understand it. To me, an e-bike, I pictured somebody like that, like my son, which, I mean, he's very considerate, but I'm just saying a young guy that could ride on a motorized vehicle on public land
Trails.
is just going to piss people off,
Mm-hmm.
just throttling that thing up and just roosting the shit out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I would even get in arguments with the guys in the back of the shop because they were like, yeah, that's the way it's going to go, and this, that, and the other. I'm like, God, this is the stupidest thing I ever heard of. And I thought, well, I can't be the old dude set in my ways, thinking, these young guys are just full of shit. They don't know what's going on. And so I ended up getting an e-bike, just happened to be in my size, and started wrapping my head around it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, this is starting to make sense to me now.
What was it? What was that bike?
I don't even want to tell the name brand.
Okay.
It was a Specialized, because Specialized was the company that was really pushing the envelope on this.
Okay.
They're the ones that really hammered it hard
Okay.
to get everybody on these bikes. Love them or hate them, they do a great job. You know, they do a great job of marketing. There's a few things that, you know, I don't like, but that's what we sold out west, and it was a good bike, a good experience. But I started seeing, after I wrapped my head around it, I can understand it, so I couldn't go in there like the old guy, all surly and I hate this. But then people start talking about it and asking about it, and I swear to you, within a year and a half, before that 2 years was up, if I sold an analog bike, which is basically a pedal bike, I sold an e-bike right behind it
Mm-hmm.
for a mountain bike. So it happened
Right in front of you.
right in front of me. And the other thing that you gotta realize too is there's so many ways that this could work for everybody. I know environmentally and stuff, there's always that bull crap, but as far as a bicycle goes, there's a point where you're not going to have the juice you got. You're not going to have the kick you got.
Mm-hmm.
Your mind might be saying, yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can do this. But you ain't going to have that kick you had when you was 35 or 40 years old, or even 50.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I'm 60. Hey, Malia, how old am I? 64.
Yeah.
Even 64, you
10 years ago is always going to be 10 years ago.
And there's a big difference between 10 years ago and right now. I can tell you that right now.
And, yeah.
So early on, you said Yeti brand was for hardcore
Correct.
mountain bikers, right?
Right.
The Colorado Rocky riders, the guys that are riding those trails. Not
So
ours.
were there Yeti riders who were hesitant to adapt or adopt the e-bikes early on?
No.
Because
They knew what was happening.
they knew what was
And they
there.
get free bikes. I mean,
Well,
pretty much. I mean, they
Well,
get
even
bikes
the
to
brand
ride.
loyalist people, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're always going to have brand loyalists. You're always going to have. I mean, you're an example of a single speed rider, but you're cheating when you get on that bike with multi speeds.
yeah, right.
Yeah. Now you're going to be that multi speed rider that's thinking about an e-bike in the future.
Well, then he's got
And they're
he's got
gonna
to go full suspension yet.
Oh.
And a dropper.
Oh.
I don't even have one of those. Well, I do.
You got a hand dropper.
Yeah, it's a
you don't
hand dropper.
Yeah.
And I don't use it that much.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
Actually, probably not at all.
Yeah, we're going to have to get you some hardcore trails now. We're going to give you some deep stuff.
Well, I think that's something else to consider in the world of e-bikes. We're not talking about e-bikes, all show or nothing, but hey, we don't live in Kansas.
No.
You go right. We've done this. How many times have we taken somebody to Great Seal, and we might never see them again after that ride?
My second time on the Specialized,
I took you to Great Seal.
on a wet day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Barron was with us.
Yep.
We're both new. It's our second time on the bike. He's like, Matt, it's really not that bad. You'll like it. It's really flowy. I'm like, Pudge, I've run hundreds of miles at Great Seal. I know where you're taking
You know
me.
what's up?
And it's not going to be fun. Like, and it just beat the hell out of me.
Yeah.
It did. I remember that day. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I mean, just pedaling, watching you and Travis up the hill.
Yeah.
And then Barron and I are just, getting
Just
as low as we can
just
and pedaling.
dying.
We get to the top, and he's like, "Hey, you guys ready to go?" Like, I mean, I could catch my breath for a second, man. Like, this is a completely different burn than running here.
yeah.
That first one right out of there, lick runs. I mean, that's just a monster.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are. That's a monster.
Whenever we do a group,
I've done it on analog. It sucks.
whenever I do a group ride, in most cases, what I would usually do is we start at the bottom of Rocky Knob.
Yeah.
And the reason I start at the bottom of Rocky Knob is it's especially fresh out of the box early in the season. It's a road ride
To the top.
to the top.
Yep.
There's a trail you can take to the top, which is
Sure.
grouse, but we usually take the road. And if you take the road and you've got a group, then that allows me to size up kind of where everybody's at.
Yep.
This person's
If that guy's at the back of the pack coming up the hill, then you know that
we're in for a
long day.
kind of a little leisure
Yeah.
ride. Let's put it that way. The last guy we took up there, Malia and I, it was a coworker of hers, but anyway, we won't go in too deep. But me and her, we took off and climbed it. We were on analog bikes. We still ride those things.
Yeah.
And we got about halfway up, and I was like, "Where's your boy at?" And she said, "I don't know." So we went on up to the top, and we're still waiting. And she said, "Well, I'm going to go back down." I said, "All right." And so she went back down, and he was loading up. I'm like, "Holy shit, this guy's done." But so that reason I brought that up is that sizes them up pretty quick.
It does, yeah.
And
You know that hill he's talking about, where we ride up there, where they're doing the dozer work and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. That separates you
Yeah.
pretty quick.
and it's all paved now, so it's
Is it?
not even
I haven't been
that
up there
bad.
since.
Yeah.
I haven't been on Rocky since then.
But it's we size him up with that, and he did. We talked him into coming back out and getting to the top. So it's not like we was like, you're done. We'll see you later. So we got him to the top and nurtured him up to the next trail. But then that was the point where we were like, okay, well, that's cool enough. We won't go any further. But not to get off track too far, we still ride analog bikes. A lot of these trail systems, I would just say a lot. There's a few trail systems that don't allow you to ride an e-bike. And so we recently did our honeymoon out west, and we took 4 bikes, 2 analog and 2 e-bikes, because I knew that we would be off and on with, okay, we're going to have our rear ends handed to us on this trail, so we're going to have our analog bike, and I know that analog bikes are allowed here.
Yeah.
And I need to be on my analog bike more. I know that. Amelia and I both know that. But
I do too. I need to buy one.
and there's really no comparison between the two. I think they're two different worlds. An analog bike is it's almost like you are maybe with your single speed, because there's no gears. You don't have to worry about it. You just get on it and pound the pedals. With us, with coming off of an e-bike to an analog bike, there's no, is my battery going to last? I'm running out of battery.
Mm-hmm.
Am I going to have this? And and it's a lighter bike. So it's kind of cool to get on that. It's really cool to get on that analog bike and go out and pound some pedals and suffer. The last time we rode, we were like, holy crap, we need to be on these things more than what we have been.
Mm-hmm.
But the big picture is the bikes have evolved. Instead of just buying a clunker like in 1970 and dressing up the way you want it to be, you come into a shop now and I will quiz you. What kind of rider are you? Where are you riding at? What's your goals for the year? Are you an aggressive rider? And once I ask you a few questions, I can definitely pinpoint exactly which bike you need to be on.
Yeah.
What's going to work best for you. So knowing that, we just talked about having Yeti and bringing those guys in, and they will always be the badass company that they are. But we also brought on Cannondale. So Cannondale has been around quite some time now. They're not the original owner of Cannondale. Matter of fact, I believe he just passed away last week. They were built out of Pennsylvania by hand, and I sold them in the mid '90s, and Cannondale was like the pinnacle. They were this badass machines, and it was cool to say, it was hand welded and hand filed down and smoothed out. I've actually got one hanging on my wall in the shop that's pretty cool to look at. Well, through the years, as we just talked about, like Bontrager and what was the other one? Gary Fisher. They kind of got gobbled up. Cannondale got gobbled up by another company, which they still make a great bike, but unfortunately, it's not being built in Pennsylvania by hand.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about Cannondale is I can now offer a customer a full suspension bike that's aluminum and great components on it for as low as $2,300. And then hardtails. They offer hardtails that's full dirt worthy for that $1,000 range. So and they make road bikes. Yeti doesn't make a road bike. They just make nothing but mountain bikes, and everything they make is carbon fiber. Whereas with Cannondale being a bigger company, not as niche a company, they make aluminum and carbon fiber. They make e-bikes. They make analog bikes. They make road bikes, gravel bikes, cruiser bikes.
Any bike you want, you can buy from
Cannondale. So that's why we brought Cannondale in. And, of course, I had a little soft spot for them because I sold them back in the mid-'90s. And then we brought on another brand, which this is where the direction has gone for older people. And that means Aventon. Aventon is nothing but an e-bike brand, and they make a super high quality product for a really good price. So you can get a mountain bike from Aventon for around $1,700, which is pretty damn reasonable. They also make a fold-up bike. They make
hunting bikes.
Hunting bike, yeah, like a fat tire bike, which totally makes sense for hunters or even farmers if I can get their head to wrap around some of them. But some of them's already doing it because they're like, it's got a fat bike, it's got a fat tire, has fenders, a rack on the back. They're stealthy. You can't hear that thing coming in the woods. You can even buy a utility trailer for them. So if you're hunting big game or anything, you can throw it on that utility trailer. And it has lights on it. It's just absolutely, and for that, you're paying $1,700.
Yeah. Wow.
I let Dad take Gibbs. He come home from hunting the other day and rabbit hunting. So, I mean, he's in his full, big bulky boots, big, brush pants, game vest. He's still decked out. He just stops at the house and well. I said, here, take Gibbs' bike a ride. He jumped on that thing and took it down the road. And I mean, he smiled the entire way.
Yeah.
And you know, and I told him, I said, man, can you imagine that deer hunting? He goes, that's the way to do this.
Yeah.
He said, man alive. He said, that's great. He said, you could just take that anywhere. You know, and I thought, once the hunters get onto that, that's how they'll do it. The only bad part about it would be dragging the deer out.
Well, that's why I say your utility trailer.
Still tough dragging a deer out, I think.
With throwing it on that.
Wouldn't you think? I mean, throwing 200 pounds on there. I mean, I'm talking whitetail hunting. You know, if you threw the whole deer in the back of it, would it? I mean, then you're spinning tires. Maybe depends on where you're hunting, but
true.
You know,
yeah, could be some yes and no on that. And I know they make a 2-wheel drive unit, which would, but you still got
a game changer too.
But that then you're adding more weight to the thing.
Yeah. Some point you just buy a 4-wheeler.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're right, because because to load up a 2-wheel drive unit, you're still that unit
right.
probably weighs almost 200 pounds.
Yeah.
So now you've got to have a heavy duty rack or a trailer to throw that thing on. So you're right. I mean, traction could be an issue. You know, in the perfect world where it's dry, which it's never always dry during deer season.
Yep.
So that could be an issue, but
there again, we don't live in Kansas.
No.
You know, I mean, it's steep here,
and then the Aventons that we have actually has a throttle too, so you can throttle it.
Great bike path bikes. I see it at the Athens bike path. I see them old people just zipping down through there because you pedal them. I mean, they've got a throttle if you need it,
right?
But I mean, you know, they got a little help, right? I mean, how's that work? How's those Aventons work on like that? Like, let's say that one that's built that's got that scoop in it.
Yeah,
that would be a road bike, right? Commuter bike, you'd call that.
I would. Well, they actually make the one with the fat tire. That's actually their mountain bike too, with the sloping top tube.
Okay.
So with the step through frame is what they call it.
Step through, yeah.
So they don't call them girls' bikes and guys' bikes anymore because riders have evolved, especially older riders, where we don't swing our hips like we used to. Like to think I do, but you know, the step through frame actually makes it convenient to step through the frame and get on the bike.
Sure,
you know, the step through frame. The reason it was a girl's bike back in the day, they red labeled it as that, is because women wore dresses, so the women would step on it without the dress, the bloomers, you know, all that stuff.
Yep.
So anyway, that carried through, and then now it's basically a step through frame, which people can benefit. Even if you're not old, if you're hauling a load and you've got stuff on your rack, you know, 30, 40 pounds, that don't sound like a lot until you got a rack and it's up above your waist.
You might be short-legged.
Yeah.
You just might be a short-legged person.
So it's cool to step on it and go. But that's what we're selling. Aventon is, like I said, a super awesome bike. I've already sold quite a few of them.
How does the pedal assist work on those? Or they all have throttles?
No, it's pedal assist also. So basically, you don't have to change anything. You just sit on your bike, and you can either throttle it from takeoff, or you can pedal it from takeoff. And then we also have the settings on them to where I can program them to do 28 miles per hour.
Okay.
They usually come set up as 20, but I can program to do 28.
Okay.
You're not breaking any laws or anything there.
They come with headlights?
Headlight, tail light, little suspension seat post.
No turn signals?
Actually, they do have turn signals on.
They have turn signals on now.
So the only thing that don't come with is smiles, and that don't happen till you hop on the ride. And it's just from ear to ear.
You know,
man.
like let's say you lived in town. Like let's say, remember 20 years ago when you and I lived over in town. Man, what a great little thing that would have been to just zip around to go places on.
Yeah.
In town. I mean, I don't know why everybody doesn't do it. I really don't.
Malia and I, we have a couple of B&Os, and they don't have a throttle. I kind of wish they do sometimes. But we hop on those, and they're cargo bikes. So a cargo bike has a smaller wheel. It's a 20-inch wheel. It's a little bit fatter. And it has racks on it. So on our racks, we put Pepsi crate, the old school Pepsi crate on the front. She has a Coke on hers. Mm-hmm. And then on the back, we have a saddlebag. So we'll run to the grocery store and motor it on and giggle the whole damn way.
Yeah.
You know, it's just fun, and we get a little bit of exercise. We have to pedal because ours don't have throttles, like I said. But you're getting a little bit of exercise. You're
Better than nothing.
Yeah, it's a good time.
I've noticed, and I'm sure you would agree with this. You're getting old like me. Whenever I
Older
bike,
than
you know, speaking of like your hips and stuff, like, you know, even just the pedaling. Like take my dad, 78 years old, 77. I think just the motion of the pedaling would help break his hips loose.
Yes.
And keep him from like
sure.
getting tight. Because I've noticed like the more I bike, the less my lower back hurts.
Absolutely. Now,
You know.
and I can tell you right now, not to go too back in the get back files, but I've rode bikes my whole life, but then as us country boys get into it, we start getting into the motorized vehicles. You know, I was a motorcycle guy.
Yeah. Saw
So-
a picture today, by the way, that Ranger and that CR250.
So that was a CR250. Now,
Mean.
prior to that one
Yeah, CR500.
was the CR500. That
Meanest machine ever made.
was the bastard that put me into the bike industry.
The CR500.
CR500, because what happened was we were out doing our thing, riding dirt bikes. Never really did anything serious. I was just out there making me freaking smile and seeing what the hell I could tear up.
Yeah.
And long story short, I crashed. I hit a jump pretty hard and wadded up that CR500, and it was probably, I don't even know what speeds I was doing. It was insane, the horsepower that thing put out. And whenever I hit it, I just over the bars, the bike came in. The back end hit me in the femur, snapped the femur in half. And then put me in the, I mean, it would laid me out pretty bad. I almost died from that one. Bone marrow got my system, and they had to pump my lungs and blah, blah, blah. Well, what was cool about it was whenever they did the surgery, they had me in traction for probably, I think, at least 4 or 5 days, because the bone, whenever it broke completely in half, it broke like this and then went up against each other. So that bone was in there side by side.
Pleasant.
So they had to get me in traction to pull that all back apart to where it would line up. And then once they got that lined up, they basically took and drove, the doctor called it pins, Dr. Fields at the time. They drove
Jackson boy.
through 3 rods through my leg, through the center of the bone, and they're still in there. So they drove those through there, and I'm laying in the hospital, and he comes out and he said, well, surgery went good. I was like, all right. And I got stitches on, or staples on both sides. I said, when you guys put the cast on? He said, we don't. He said, we just nailed you together. You're good to go. And you could tell, you feel that freaking thing move. It freaking hurts so bad, just throbbing. And whenever I'd lift the leg up, you could just feel it just pulling apart there.
Oh.
So I don't have a cast. You know what I can do? I can ride a bike.
Pedal.
So take me a couple pain pills, put the aspirin cream on my leg, get all psyched up. And I called a buddy at the time that, hey, you got a stationary bike? Can I use that for my Ross? It was a Ross bike. It was a mount hood, pure 80s, pink stem, pastel pink, not pink, but pastel pink, pastel green frame, pastel. I was just pastel.
Yeah.
That was the name of the game back then. So I got that thing dialed in on the walker, or not a walker, but that's next week. Walker, we'll talk about that. The stationary bike, and I couldn't bend my knee, from laying in the hospital so long. So I basically just started rocking it. Just started rocking that thing back and forth, and finally got a full pedal stroke and another pedal stroke. And so I got to where I could actually pedal a bike at that time. And it was probably about a month and a half, I was riding my mountain bike. I wasn't in the mountains.
Yeah.
I was riding like bike path shit.
Yeah.
And then as that progressed, I started breaking shit. I mean, I started getting in pretty decent shape again. And next thing you know, I was going off this, that, and the other, and bending handlebars and started breaking frames. And local shop at the time, I was like, hey, you guys, I need some high-end stuff. I need this and that. I know I can't be the only guy out here jacking shit up.
Yeah.
And this was like early 80s. and they said, "Oh, we don't have anything, and you've got the best thing out there." And I was like, "Nah, there ain't no freaking way." So that's how I got into the mountain bike thing, and I took. But by that time, it was probably a year later, I sold that CR500, and then thought I was still into dirt bikes and bought that CR5 or CR250 that you've seen. And I bought that and ran it for a little bit. And in the meantime, I started thinking about more bike shit, you know. And I ended up selling my CR250 for my first shipment of mountain bikes, which was Alpine Stars made bikes at that time. So, which is a motorcycle company.
Mm-hmm.
So we started selling Alpine Stars in this little hole in the wall in Chillicothe, and started our Tuesday, Thursday rides, and it just kept evolving and evolving. And then next thing you know, I'm riding bikes, selling bikes, and popping wheelies and having a good time.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the evolution of that. And so the injury helped me, but back to what you were talking about, I had some back issues too. Had another motorcycle wreck right after that. Shattered a couple vertebrae, ribs, disc, blah, blah, blah. And the bicycle, the more I rode it, the less pain I had. I think it gave me more support. It gave me more flexibility. It was pumping blood to those areas that you need, that without the high impact of running, like you guys are savages, can just keep pounding it out. You know, there was just no way I could do that. So I think the bike thing really helped me rehab, and it continues to help me rehab. I still feel much better after I'm riding a bike.
Mm-hmm.
Much better. There's no comparison.
Yep.
So, you know, there's people I get calls quite a bit through the day that they're like, "Oh, we're 60 years old. We are this, we're that." I'm like, man, it feels like I should be looking at a burial site by now. You know, you guys, the way you're talking.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, so I try to nurture them, or try to tell them, yeah, that's cool. You need to come out and take a ride on the bike.
Yeah.
You know, see what you think. Whether it's an analog bike or an e-bike, as long as it makes you smile, it gets your blood flowing, you feel like you're in shape, it's surely not going to hurt you. So as long as you're pedaling, that's all there is.
So he's not only a rider, dude's an ambassador.
He's
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
I told you changed my life. One ride on that pedal assist.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know. Well, you kept telling me I was going to have to do something, but you guys didn't think I was going to keep riding.
I never underestimate anybody.
Yeah.
Now, if you kept riding that shit you were riding, you
Yeah.
were never going to quit. You were going to quit riding.
I was going to quit riding.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was on that bike
Yeah.
David had.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or Dave
yeah.
or Ross had and all that, you know.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, if you're going to do it, man, you just need equipment that's going to handle it.
Right.
You know, in my
Right.
opinion, you know, I'm a big dude. You know, I got a lot smacking around there on them tires and stuff.
Well,
and I was every time I rode, I had to work on my bike.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. There's a point where you got to make a decision that's going to keep you into the sport, no matter what you're riding.
Well, sure. It's all everything's a progression, right?
The
Yeah.
bad thing is there's not an easy way for people to try it. That's the hard thing.
Yeah.
Around here, I should say, you know, like it's hard to, like I've had several buddies, I'm sure we all have, that say, "Hey man, I'd like to try it sometime. You got an extra bike?" Well, no, I don't. You know, I mean, and some people do, but
Yeah. And then you're throwing something out there that's, you know, even if you have an extra bike, it's an expensive piece of equipment to hand to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
that's
And-
kind of running to build for you,
Yeah.
you know.
And I've had experience in the past where I've had people borrow my stuff and even riding with me make some adjustments, and the next thing you know, they're on their head or bending parts. And the other end of it is too, you know, down the road, and I'm not saying it probably will not be this year, but I'm probably going to be looking at doing some type of a rental program, and where you could rent it. But the big picture is kind of where you're going, I think, is somebody that's renting a bike and you're going to turn them loose at Great Seal.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's a tough place. So I think that as there's a group that's been going in Chillicothe that's called the Chillicothe, what is it, the
Mountain Lions.
no, it's the Trail Builders,
Oh,
Chillicothe Trails.
okay.
So basically what they're doing, and my son's a part of it, and his wife, and Dave Huggins, which puts you on the Buck 50.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that guy
Mm-hmm.
does an incredible job. So they're all into this group, and they're in the process of building
An easier.
easier trail
Yeah.
system. Their first trail system that they've really been working on is up at the university. Have you heard of it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're working on that. It's continuing, but that's got to be the first that's the first project they're making some good headway on, and I think that's going to be an example.
And sooner or later, they're wanting to connect them both, aren't they? Like somehow, some way, like get either bike path or something.
Yeah, bike path. I think that they've even talked to Jubal about, which is my son's name, about doing the right off the bike path. Some areas where you can just jump off the bike path and then on the flood wall and then hit some jumps and stuff and then come back on.
Mm-hmm.
Things that kind of gets people familiar, and then that's going to eventually ease into the trail systems.
Yeah.
Where, okay, let's make this trail
Yeah.
where I can take my kid.
Well, you know, and I also mean too, money wise, like, you know, we were talking about the entry level, like, you know, to pretty well get into mountain biking. I mean, you know, bottom of the barrel, you got $1,000 in it.
Yeah.
That's to go find you a used bike to go ride 10 times to see if you like it.
Yeah, that's what we did with me. That's what you had me do.
Yeah. And I mean, you've still got that bike.
Yeah, I love it.
You love, yeah. And I mean,
it's been great to learn on.
Yeah. And I mean, and you can keep riding that. And I mean, for $1,000, you can buy a bike like that. And then it's a matter of finding out, okay, now do I want to go buy a full suspension? Do I want to go e-bike? You know, I kind of went hardtail, full suspension e-bike.
Yeah.
So it took me 3 bikes to get to where I'm at. Now I'm getting ready for my 4th. Oh,
Yeah.
God, he's so excited. Gosh, man.
Well,
It was a heartbreaking day that day. You called me and told me my frame was cracked.
yeah. I couldn't believe what I seen, so I even sent pictures to my buddy in Colorado. He's got a shop there, and I said, "What do you think of this?" And he said, "Of course, he thought I was being a smart ass, but I was wanting his official opinion, even though I knew what it was. I just want somebody to back me up." And I said, "What do you think of this?" He said, "I just put some Bondo on it. It should be okay." And I'm like, "No, serious." He said, "Well, JB Weld then." I was like, "No." He said, "Your frame's broke." I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. How did you do that?
Who knows?
Don't know.
I have no idea how long it's been.
It's not anything particular that a rider will do. It's basically if you just ride your bike hard enough and long enough, something's going to fatigue. And that bottom bracket where his broke, it's just a small crack right now, and he just needs to keep an eye on it. But you know, you don't realize how much pressure that when you're pedaling, you're not just pushing down on the pedal. That bike is swinging from side to side, and also when you're putting pressure on that chain, it's trying to fold your bike in half. So all that pressure on the chain is trying to fold from from crank to rear wheel. It's trying to fold it this way. Now you're swinging your bottom bracket this way when you're pedaling, and now you're taking pressure from your headset down to that tube where you're coming up and down. So that area there is taking so much different types of stress.
Not to mention, now you just went over a log.
Yes.
Now you just, you know, did a little bunny hop. Now, you know, whatever. Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that happens. I've had a Santa Cruz in there. I don't know if you've seen it in the stand.
I did. Yeah, I did.
And I took the sawzall to it and cut it in half.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So basically what happens is these companies will cover their product. They're pretty good about it as long as you're buying a name brand product and you're the original owner. But it whenever I was working on it, it was a carbon fiber frame, and it wasn't even in for this. And I'm working on it, and I glanced at it just like I did yours, and I was like, "Oh, what's that dirt on there?" And I wiped it. It was like a powdery dirt. And I wiped it, and it was basically where carbon fiber will rub together. It creates a powder. And I was like, "Oh, that's a cracked frame." So his cracked very close to the same area yours did because of all that pressure, just the continuous riding and cranking. And so, you know, of course, he was the original owner, so he was able to go to the manufacturer, and they gave him a new frame. But then I have to do a field destroy, which a field destroy is they want to see pictures of you cutting it in half. So it's not like you can repair it and send it back down the road or claim a free frame and not broke. So It happens. And that was probably a $5,000 bike.
What is the average shelf life of a bike?
There's so many variations.
I mean, I know it's probably rider to rider, but you know, a hardcore rider, what do you think?
Those carbon fibers, they always seem to break.
A carbon fiber bike is super strong, but if you took a carbon fiber and you hit it with a hammer, say on your seat stay, or with the bar that goes from your seat down to your rear wheel, if you crack that with the same amount of pressure as an aluminum frame, the carbon fiber will break.
Yeah.
The aluminum frame will dent. So you won't have a catastrophic failure with aluminum, but you will with carbon fiber. And so once again, if that bike was made, the Santa Cruz I was talking about, if it was made out of aluminum, it probably would have cracked sooner, I'd imagine. Because what happens in those areas on the, like aluminum, where the weld is, the weld itself won't crack, but where the heat heats up that aluminum close to that weld is what usually cracks, just like
mine. That's exactly. Okay. And mine's aluminum. And mine didn't crack on the weld. It was just underneath the weld.
Correct.
And it's where they've weakened it, where they got it hot.
Okay.
I don't know if you could have, sure somebody could have smoothed that back, brought that back out a little bit and fanned it out. But possibly. Now you're doing it somewhere, wherever you end your weld.
Right. So carbon fiber's strong. It's a great product. You can really customize a frame with carbon fiber. You can make a extra small frame ride the same as an extra large frame because they can layer it up different ways in each tube. Like Yeti, for instance, it's a lifetime warranty on the frame. If you, and no questions asked.
Mm-hmm.
If you
original owner though.
Original owner, yeah.
Yep.
So if you crack a frame, they'll fix you up. They'll get a brand new one. I had one happen a while back, and it looked like somebody had taken that frame and put it in like a bike stand will have a clamp on it that clamps it in there, and you never clamp that in to the bike stand. You always use a seat post, and it looked like it was clamped into a bicycle stand.
Yeah.
And because it's always weak in that center. And I sent the picture to Yeti, and they said, it looks like somebody put it in a stand. And they said, no big deal. We'll ship you another one anyway.
Wow.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
And it does happen. So but between the two, I mean, aluminum is a great product. It will always be a great product. It's cost effective. It holds up well. Carbon fiber is a badass product, but the difference is being that carbon is a little bit lighter. But what happens, there's three things that happens with carbon. It becomes a little bit lighter as far as weight. The bike becomes more rigid, or the product becomes more rigid. So what that means is that swinging I was talking about,
it can't do that.
It's minimalized.
Yeah.
So it becomes a more rigid material. So it becomes more power redirected to the pedal, more precise steering, and more accurate where you're putting the bike, and better acceleration. So those are the advantages. The other advantage is that the bike feels like it rides smoother. And the reason it rides smoother is because it doesn't transmit vibration. So a lot of people think that it feels soft, but it's not transmitting the vibration to the rider like aluminum will.
Because it's not a conductor.
Yeah. So basically, it's like a tuning fork. If you built a tuning fork out of carbon and aluminum, that aluminum one would resonate, just keep howling.
Yeah.
The other one would be like doing, and
click.
it's dead.
Yeah.
So you don't get that trans.
Wow.
So the other thing that not only does the ride become more comfortable, but the ride makes you less fatigued because you don't have that vibration. And vibration you think, okay, what kind of vibration? But just take an electric toothbrush, you put it on your gums long enough, and it's gonna go numb. You're gonna be like, oh shit, that thing's tearing me up. So that's why carbon fiber is very desirable in the bike industry.
No, that makes great sense.
And
it scares me at my weight. Just to talk about Chubby. But
I've got a guy bigger than you riding,
and
he's actually sending it. I mean, he's actually hitting jumps, and I'm just like, damn.
You talking about
dude.
Trent Fannin? Bigger than me.
No. We're not going to mention any names.
I'll mention Trent. What's up, Trent?
No, actually, we'll mention the guy. Eric Myers is the guy's name.
Oh, no.
He's out of.
He said it's just one. There's just one guy bigger than you on a bike rack. Chubby guy.
that I know.
There's some other chubbies out there. Yeah.
No, it's nothing to kind of sweep under the carpet. I mean, it is something to think about, but I've not seen too many failures because of just weight.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are going big. I mean, these guys, you see them going big on these jumps and stuff.
And I'm not doing that.
They're riding the same bike you're riding.
Yeah.
Honestly. I mean, if the bikes that we ride, these guys are going over stuff. I mean, I compare it to my son riding. I mean, there's stuff that I see him hit, and I'm like, there's just no freaking way.
Yeah.
I'm never putting that kind of stress on the bike, so I don't really worry about my bike breaking in half.
God, some of that stuff scares the hell out of me.
Man, that Red Bull Rampage. I mean, you're from out there. You lived out there. Man, that's nuts.
That's a whole different ballgame.
I mean, it's almost like they're trying to kill somebody.
Well, I've spent 15 years with 2 feet on the ground.
Yeah.
Well, mostly one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one or the other.
Yeah.
Right.
But following even you down a hill, I'm like, God,
But
what's this guy doing?
Those guys are different.
But then we've been with Travis, and I've seen
Cola.
Travis and Adam, and even Kyle.
Yeah.
I just can't bring myself to rip it off the top of some of that stuff yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't.
some of those guys have, like, I think Kyle, he's got a little motorcycle background.
Yeah.
When you go, a lot of these guys, when you go motorcycle background, it gets your head wrapped around a little bit of the speed. But the other thing too is like you runners, you're like savages. You got those primitive instincts where you're just foot to ground. What's this going to react like? Whereas with a bike, you've got front brake, rear brake, pedal position. What gear should I be in? There's a lot of stuff, variations, counter steering. When you're going down the trail, you don't steer like this to go to the left. You pull on the right, and it'll dive you over to the left. So there's a counter steering to biking that people don't realize.
Oh, yeah, that's completely new to me right there.
Yeah. So, and a good way for you to figure that out is just go down the road on your bicycle. When you go down on the road on your bicycle, try just steering it that way.
No, you do it. You just don't realize it. It's whenever you lean and do this.
That's not leaning.
No, I know. I'm trying to break it down.
You literally pull on the handlebars the opposite way.
Okay.
Yeah. You're doing it now. You just don't realize.
And you're pushing that gyro that you're riding, leaning it over that way.
Well, this is all but this is the part. Yeah, this is the education. These are the things that
So one simple thing that I would usually do with people is just go out there on your bike and do try to do like 10 miles an hour, 8 to 10 miles an hour, and try to steer it.
Mm-hmm.
And then steer it this way. Use one hand and pull it. And when you pull that way, it's going to fall over to the left. Pull it this way, it's going to fall over to the right. But you got to go above that speed. Now you can't do that doing like 2 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You've got to be, because you're controlling that gyro. Your wheel's just a big gyro. And you don't realize the other thing too is another thing that I usually show people, and I showed this to Malia a while back, that just spin this wheel. So if you hold the wheel and you spin it, and then you're sitting on a stool that rotates, and you turn it, you'll start turning that way. You start rotating that way. You turn it this way, it'll do the opposite. So that you're just controlling a gyro is what you're doing. And that gyro, once you get that momentum going, it's going to be hard to make you fall over on that downhill unless you're going over the bars.
Wow.
And that's where that dropper post comes in. Drop that dropper post out of the way.
I always looked at it like a horse. That horse don't want to fall down any more than I do.
My bike don't give a damn.
Well, it's about keeping it. It's just all you got to do is try to keep it upright. It'll roll it.
I'll try it.
Yeah. I wreck all the time. I know it sucks.
I got a collarbone that tells me that's
And I don't even want to get hurt anymore, like at all. I don't even want a chance getting hurt.
Oh, back in my day, I didn't care.
Yeah.
But now when I hit the ground, I used to bounce. I stick now.
Yeah.
It's just jammed, and it's like, oh my God.
You wrecked that day. Me and you and Mr. Howard went, the superintendent down here.
Did I?
Yeah, you remember you got hung up in your clips. You was riding those clip ins.
That's not a wreck.
Yeah, you just
that's a
fell over.
stupid fall
Yeah,
over.
you just fell over.
Yeah. A wreck's got to be above 5 miles an hour.
Above, okay.
Yeah.
It was below.
Malia, she had a good one. We went out west, and she, I mean, you just watch it happening, and it was over the bars. Those are the worst, you know. And just you see that thing. She's coming down a rocky ledge and caught that front wheel onto another rock, and I'm like, oh no. And that the over the bars is where it is the worst ones. Yeah. So it's fortunately she landed on a big flat rock, but I think if I had have landed on the big flat rock, I would have rolled around a little bit more on what she did. I was like, damn, that would have hurt me, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't have any desire to be as fearless as what I thought I once was.
I need to get you guys back down to Rio. You haven't done Rio for a couple.
We definitely.
That's kind of our home turf, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely got to get down there.
It's amazing what Matt Easter, isn't it? I mean, isn't it just amazing how much work they do?
It's incredible what they've done in the last couple of months down there.
Yeah.
Just cleaning it up for winter.
Yeah. I mean, trails are always perfect. You know, if you see a tree within a day, too, it's gone.
They're always out there working.
Oh, yeah, always out there building.
I love to stop
the
and talk
features
to
that they have. They're constantly redoing them, putting new wood on them. You know, making them safer, making them better. Yeah, man,
it sounds like what you guys have described is a place where that you could tell a newbie to go and have a good time. Because there's routes around the hard stuff.
There's routes around the hard stuff, but what I will say is, I mean, you know, Rye will kick your ass. I mean, I don't know that it's even. I would say Bailey's is the best newbie spot. Wouldn't you?
Yes and no.
I said if you can ride Rye, you can ride anywhere.
Yeah, the trails are probably easier to navigate at Bailey's, but it's so vast,
so
compared to
out.
Yeah.
But Rio's just so, I mean, single track. I mean,
yeah, but you can take a new guy to Rio and hey, push it up. You know, if you got to push, you got to push, and you're not going to push very hard.
And you're not going to push very long.
No.
Yeah.
And then once you get to the top,
try it again.
You can spend 30 minutes up there and have a great time.
Yeah. Once you get to the top up there, you can play around up there. Yeah, they've got kind of two sides, you know, which you probably didn't realize while you were there, but there's...
I've never been there.
Oh, I thought you guys went once.
To Rio?
Yeah, I thought you went to Rio once.
We've been to Bailey's, and that's been it.
Oh.
These past couple years for us with getting into that new piece of property and building the shop out, and there's been some medical issues. So we've really been... We put bikes on a back burner.
Yeah.
It's been a rough.
You've been kind of laid up too, injury wise, with your shoulder and stuff too.
Yeah, I'm getting old.
Yeah, grandpa, man.
Damn bicycles and shit. But this year, you know, we've my deal was I'm supposed to get new knees and new shoulder, and we went to the doctors and checked some stuff out, and I can't see myself being laid up with a shoulder getting replaced because that's like 6 months down the road. So what we've done is committed to hitting the gym, trying to strengthen ourselves there, and working the upper body for sure and the lower body. Committed to that 2 to 3 days a week, and then once, hate to say it, I mean you've been getting out, but weather gets a little bit better, then knock that out. But in the old barn, we're putting another. I wouldn't call it another floor, but we're putting a ceiling in it, so it's gonna be a little easier to cool,
a little easier to heat,
because there's no heat.
It gets a little chilly in there. Thought my toes were going to break off the other day.
Well, you know, I thought you were a survivalist, but I guess
I'm not. I don't know why you thought that. I'd never been.
You come in your big 4-wheel drive truck and stuff.
It's a Tacoma. It's just a regular Tacoma.
No,
yeah.
I know how you guys are in your Tacomas. But yeah. So anyway, we still got a pretty full plate with that.
I was in Crocs.
no, you was.
Oh yeah, these. That's what.
Yeah, I'm not. Crocs aren't allowed. There's a sign at the door.
No
No
Crocs
Crocs allowed. And I don't want to see your ankles either.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll start wearing boots.
He's got his covered barely. He's being seductive with this. Yeah. But we've got some work to do still. We worked yesterday. I got made some good headway in there.
I'm anxious to see your little track.
And the track needs some work, but we've got like, I wouldn't call it a log crossing. We got some stumps that we put in the ground,
Yep.
and you ride across them. It's more of a mind screw than anything.
Yeah.
Because you look at it, you're like, I can't get over that.
Hey,
but
put
then
some
when
drops. Put some stuff in there. Put some.
well, we'll get it. We got some rolling humps back there, and then a place to go up on the ledge. Where so we've got some, and we've got a couple of hip camps back there too. So we rent them out in the summertime. So that we still got some improving on that. So it's a big list of improvements. But
You was talking about Airbnb, and I recently put a house back on Airbnb that hadn't really been on it for about a year and a half. And what I'm finding is that business is dead.
that's what I've heard. I've heard that there's not.
I used to go. I wouldn't go 2 or 3 days, and I'd book that thing. It's been on there a month now, and nobody's booked it.
Is it location or what do you
Airbnb.
think?
I think Airbnb's dead.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, I think that whole model's dead.
So
And the people I've talked to, I called some buddies, be like, "Hey, man, like, can you see mine? Like, what's happening?"
yeah.
I mean, to my knowledge, I got the only one open in downtown right now, and thinking that surely somebody would want it, and they all said the same thing. They said that pass through, but like you used to get a lot of business that would be coming through. Like you'd rent 2 or 3 nights through the week, and then you'd have 4 or 5 regulars that just rented it all the time, and those pass through ones are gone, and they say your regulars are about cut in half.
is there another platform that's taken over or anything? Or
I don't think people's just traveling like they were.
really.
Yeah,
The business model itself has changed.
I do.
It's not Airbnb.
Yeah,
It's
I think they're going
was
back
the
to
clientele,
hotels,
yeah.
and I don't know that. Like take me, I travel a lot for work. I'm not really looking for Airbnbs. I'm going to a Marriott. I think a lot of that. I think the Airbnb model has kind of died a little bit too. I think that clientele that was doing all that, maybe not traveling as much, it kind of knew wore off. There was people there for a while that were just booking Airbnbs to book Airbnbs. Like that was their entertainment was, let's go try this Airbnb, because you had to have a theme with them, right? Like, so whenever you do an Airbnb, you have to call it something. That's why the studio above the studio is my,
I see.
Airbnb. And, they were looking for that, we just go try different themes and experiences, and then they get the more ratings, and then you get free coupons and that type of stuff.
Okay.
So, but it looks like from what I'm seeing, that has tremendously backed off.
Yeah. We may be looking at long-term rentals too. So
Yeah.
but
we talked about that today. I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, maybe I have to go back. I had been renting it long term, and I didn't have anybody lined up, so I just threw it on there for 30 days, see what would happen. I think I'm seeing what's happening. Now, summertime's probably going to be a little busier. December, January, February were always slow months,
right.
but not this slow.
But your hip camp, is it geared towards
It's
Summer.
bikes?
It's bikes for sure. I mean, of course, bike shop being on the property and 1 mile from the trailhead, and then I guess the other thing I keep thinking about is that Tecumseh, believe it or not, brings a lot of people in. I can't believe how many people come by that place. It's an amphitheater, and it's just. I mean, even in the fall, there's traffic flowing through there because they do a Halloween deal. So we'll see. I mean, we're not going to get in a bind if we don't do anything with it. It's just a lot of space there that
Could be doing something with
be
it.
doing something with.
I really wish we've never really done it. I don't think you and I've ever done it together, but the side he lives close to is the park side, I guess you'd call it.
Main entrance.
Entrance to the park.
Yep.
We always go to the Lick Run side or Rocky's Top or Rocky, whatever that is, Rocky Steep.
Correct. Rocky Knob.
Rocky Knob. We go to that or Lick Run. But I think the bikers should go to where you're at because it's such a nicer parking area.
The only drawback to that is
The trail.
you're
Sugarloaf.
You're not doing Sugarloaf. You're doing the bottom piece of it. And it's actually some good riding from like the Horseman's Camp over.
Bunkers, is that what that is? Yeah.
Yeah, and then once you get over to the next climb, then it's not a bad climb, but you better be ready for it.
Which one?
It's a switchback. It's one of the switchbacks that head over towards the old Seney Road up to Sand Hill. So there's
I know where I'm at out there. I don't know what they're called. I know where I'm at.
So it's basically the one that climbs up out of the park area.
Okay.
And
That Sugarloaf is. Whew.
Yeah, Sugarloaf is. Now somebody said that of course it's not a horse trail. I think it's a hiking trail right now. But that somebody redid the trail up Sugarloaf.
where the loggers had went in there. I haven't done that trail in probably 3 or 4 years. Last time I went up it was just god awful. I pushed it all the way up it.
Oh, you're talking about.
I don't think that is Sugarloaf. What
No,
I'm
it's
talking
not.
about. I'm talking about.
It's not bunker.
No,
I think it's sand.
it's
probably sand.
Ain't you got one of them there picture boxes in your hand there? Check it out and see what it says. But anyway,
It's a monster.
Yeah,
whatever it is.
yeah.
Can you ride Sugarloaf?
The one I'm talking about,
I
we
think
rode
you would-
down. We couldn't ride. We couldn't ride up it. We had to ride down. We
Yeah.
rode down to that. Whatever one I'm talking about. It's if you're coming from Lick Run and you went to the right. If you went down there to where they fork and you go to the right, it goes way out through there. It goes up that hill.
No, I'm thinking about something else. Mount Ives.
But it might be, but it's either that or Sugarloaf.
Sugarloaf is the one biggest hill right there at the Horseman's Camp, and it is straight up and down.
Straight up.
I've only climbed it once, and that was on a regular bike.
Yeah.
That was back whenever
That is badass.
I was a young man, and I got halfway up it, and I literally had to stop. I didn't get off my bike. I leaned up against a tree and regrouped and did it again. My son's done it
Yeah.
with nonstop, but it is nasty.
That's incredible. That's a nasty
A lot of great seal
piece
is.
of ground.
Now that's not. That would be on the. North side. North
Yes.
side, not the other. The other side's real twisty and
Yeah. I'm
Pretty-
talking about the
yeah,
Yeah.
that one's straight up and down.
Mm.
But
There's a lot of nasty stuff at Great Seal.
there is there's some good riding.
There is. But you better bring your legs.
Mhm.
You know, boys, we gotta wrap it up.
All right.
Anything
Well-
else? Where can they find you, Jubal Davis?
Well, our new location is out on Delano Road, 1921. There's always bikes outside. Look for the
For
old
you
white
Jackson
barn.
people,
Yeah.
go like you're going to go to Adena. Go out 159,
Mm-hmm.
and then make the right at the first stop sign,
Yeah, stoplight.
stop light after you pass through Adena and Kenworth. and all
Correct.
that. Go past Riffle and all that.
No, don't go past Riffle.
Not past. Okay.
Yeah.
Just go to the stop
Go to
sign.
the stop sign.
And then
turn
like
right,
you're going to go to
that's
Tecumseh.
all. Correct.
Yep. And then make a right. And you're about a mile out there, 3/4 mile.
Probably 3/4 mile.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite a mile.
We're actually, our house is the closest one to the road. And
Yes.
we are the original farmhouse.
Sneaks
out
up
there.
on you,
Yeah.
kind of.
So original farmhouse, that whole area, from what I've heard from the old school people out there, they're like, this was the old Woods farm, or this was and there was somebody before that. Whenever I was here, this was all cornfields, and that was all this. So it's the original homestead that was right there,
Okay.
which is cool, and they've added on to it.
Yep.
So I like that part of it. We really enjoy that, and just being in that old barn. I mean, we're pretty, believe it or not, we're just pretty stoked to be in
Yeah,
that place.
yeah. And they can find you on Facebook, Instagram,
Facebook, Instagram. We have a website, Scioto Valley Cycle,
Scioto Valley Cycle.
and we have some of our pieces and parts on there. And we're excited for this next chapter.
Next spring coming up.
Yeah, it was pretty rocky there for a while since the last time I talked to you because of the move and health reasons, but we're pretty wide open now.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
We're excited about being here and
Well, you got a lot of Jackson customers. You know, I know Finch comes to you. We do.
Vince,
you know.
Dad. I get a lot of customers.
All the
from
bikers
Jackson.
down here, pretty much. That's about it, really.
I plan to be there real soon.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So if I can help you, let us know. We're excited for this next season,
All right.
and we're going to do some riding. I think.
By God, I am. I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah, we got pretty juiced up on our out west trip, so we seen some soft spots in our game.
The
So yeah, just got to get in shape.
I'll get in shape.
It ain't coming to me in a pill bottle or anything.
No. Get on them GLPs. It still don't give you no wind, does it?
No. But
All right. Hey, look us up or look him up, SciotoValleyCycles.com, or look him up at Scioto Valley Cycles on Facebook. Anything else?
that's it.
That's it. All right.
Come and see us.
Come see you. See ya.